I was kind of confused on who the love interest was supposed to be, and it was like this 10-year-old with a cracked voice. Hello, people! Welcome to the same video or the next, I don't know. I just finished reviewing Into the Drowning Deep, and I have talked for 30 minutes straight, and I'm already out of my social limit. Okay, yeah, I'm lazy, so I have to review this side to side, but should I just start reviewing it like this? I'm so done with life. So Wolfsong, yeah, I'm just gonna start like this. Wolfsong is a werewolf romance, and that's kind of all that you need to know. So like, our main character, wow, okay, we're just diving right into it. Werewolf romance places in a tiny town, small town, everyone knows everyone else. That type of setting. It's in the mountains. There's this 10-year-old. His father leaves. He has daddy issues. And a lot that gets repeated so much in the book. Anyways, not losing my shit yet. Ox. His name is Ox. He gets trauma. That's kind of the first 30% of the book. And then there's Joe. What's his full name, by the way? Is it Jonathan or something? Joe Bennett. He's a werewolf. He's supposed to be the alpha of the pack. Yalla. Take a sip of water every time they mention alpha or the pack. You will be spending your time in the bathroom like no other. Just reading the book and like listening to it and just kind of peeing and sipping water. Anyways, yeah, they kind of made it at their ripe age of 10. And there's this age gap of 6 years. A 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. That was a choice. I don't know if it was a good one because I was creeped out for most of the time. But first of all, I was kind of confused on who the love interest was supposed to be, and it was like this 10-year-old with a cracked voice. Yes, I'd read the audiobook, and for the first 80% of the book, I could not take Joe seriously. I just checked my notes. I checked my notes across the room because I was so frustrated at the last video. I was that frustrated, and a 5-star review. Imagine, 1 star. I don't know what to do. We know how werewolf romances go, okay? You probably know what this book is. The werewolf pack has like 4 siblings. Funny how there wasn't a girl sibling in the fucking book, but okay. I really shipped Ox with Carter at first. A suitable match, like first, and that sound is just me fidgeting. I don't remember anything. I kind of just blocked it out. One whole fucking page, then the 5-star book was like this much. I have some thoughts. The audio narration, it was, ooh, I didn't like it. I just didn't. There's nothing wrong with the voice of the narrator, but it's just the execution. But the characterization is extremely flimsy. Like, I'll just get to that later, but the way the narrator would have read it was, the characterization is extremely flimsy. And, oh my goodness, why would you talk like that? Carter, no! It was so bad. Okay. Even when they grow up, they just don't get out of that narration. This is so annoying. If you have that kind of accent, I kind of dislike you. No, I don't, but you know, it's kind of annoying in the book. To be professional. And how am I supposed to take this alpha werewolf if it sounds like a 12-year-old? Like, yes, that was a good thing, but you know, like for the most of the book. He's the alpha, he's territorial, he's possessive, and he sounds like a 12-year-old. A child. Yeah, it was a child and he sounded like a child, but you know, how am I supposed to take that seriously? I have no words for that. One thing that I did like about the book is that it knows how to poke fun at itself, and it knows that it's nothing that serious. Like, it knows its target audience. And it's like, hey, I come into the book and the author, but that's where that ends. So, I'm just gonna start off with the character development. I mentioned that Ox has daddy issues, and that's kind of where the character ends. Even when he grows up, everything just relates back to his daddy issues, his childhood trauma of his dad leaving and his dad saying, you're not good enough. I'm like, yeah, I kind of relate on how it affected him, and I don't know if I want to relate, but there it is. It was good at showcasing that emotions you kind of feel about that, but it was just so in your face that I hated it. For example, there's this one scene that Ox, that he meets the Bennett family for the first time, and he's 16. I thought he was so childish he might have been the 10-year-old, but okay, he was 16. And he kind of unloaded all of the trauma on the first meeting to the Bennett family. And I don't know why. Are we gonna explain that with werewolf magic or something? Who knows? Okay, Joe just gives a wolf's stone carving of a fucking wolf to him, and I was like, oh, it's so precious. Like, okay, Joe doesn't know the symbolism of what giving that gift was, but even Joe was like, oh, I'm so touched. The werewolf, it's so beautiful. And I was like, dude, chill. I've never had such a fun gift. And I was like, shut up already. You're so annoying. Okay, I get it, but please shut up. You're a child. 1 year younger than me. You're a child. I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't spill my soul to strangers that I met for the first time. Like, the internet friends, they knew my actual name after 1 year. Like, I had been friends with them. I had spoken to them regularly. And yeah, when Hafsa and I got together, and she still didn't know my name until day 2 or something. I'm that secretive about my personal life. I'm the mysterious bad boy. Anyways, but I was so irritated about that main character because, yeah, it just... Pushing that aside, it was just so melodramatic. Like, oh my goodness, I love Joe's gift. I accept Joe's gift. Like, shut up and just take it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a wooden, it's just a stone wolf. Shut up. You don't need to go on a whole fucking monologue in front of the whole fucking family. It's not even to Joe, it's like to the parents, to the siblings. The whole Bennett family was there. The second-hand embarrassment. And he just teared up because that 16-year-old teared up because a 10-year-old gave him a a stone fox for his birthday. Moving on. Okay, another aspect of the melodrama would be Ox is 17 or something, or even 16, I don't really remember, but he gets a girlfriend. And he, like a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, wants to go on a date with his girlfriend. And everyone's like, make sure you tell Joe because you know how it gets. No? Huh? Ox doesn't owe Joe anything except friendship at this moment in time. Why are you, as Joe's family, like, putting that pressure on Ox when he doesn't know, he doesn't have the context of whatever your cultish bullshit? Okay, the floor is cold, oh my goodness, it's winter. But summer is coming and I hate that more. Back to topic. Why would you push these kind of pressure and expectations on Ox when he didn't sign up for this bullshit? Like, he was signing up for friendship. Like, who knew? He didn't know at the ripe age of 16 that a 10-year-old would get onto him for life. It was just so dramatic, and Ox kind of forgot. Okay, minor spoilers, but yeah, it doesn't really matter anyways. Ox kind of forgot to tell Joe that he was going on a date, so he wouldn't be able to hang out with him over dinner, and Ox kind of ditches his girlfriend to run a few kilometers to tell Joe. Huh? What? It's just so dramatic. I could not. It was just, what is happening here? Why am I here right now? And the family kind of didn't let him in because Thomas, the current alpha of the pack, the current head. Oh wait, I have to take 2 steps. So the current Mr. Thomas, I don't want to take more steps. Thomas It's like, oh, we understand it's not your fault and blah blah blah, but he doesn't like. Joe needs some time to heal and recover because you know how Joe is. What? That kid literally just ran 2 kilometers. The kid walked that distance because he doesn't have a cell phone, whatever. My point. The kid walked that much distance. So dramatic. I was like, why? Why would you do that? I'm just moving on because I don't have that much time. I already mentioned that, but I have written here the trauma dumping at the most inconvenient of time to fuel character growth. Ox at first is a wimpy kid who cries because his dad left, and Ox at the end of the book would be the human equivalent of the alpha. It's water, by the way. Ugh. My bladder will be so clean today. To feel that character growth, like, it wasn't organic, it didn't feel organic. It was just kind of Ox. He was kind of this wimpy kid, and he just kind of, like, trauma dumps on the family and just grows a little bit more. And then he just trauma dumps to Jesse and it grows a little bit more. He just trauma dumps on the workers and, how do you spell it? That you know, of where he works and his co-workers, and he grows a little bit more. That is how it works. Like, why would you trauma dump? First off, why would you trauma dump on strangers? And secondly, how would that fuel your character growth without any self-reflection? Huh? And the writing is so repetitive that I think I have a few notes on here, apart from that, because while I was reading, like, in 15% N, Ox's character would be, like, he doesn't talk that much, right? Like, in 15% in, and I have already read about Ox, this is the most I've spoken. 3 times. Like, wow. Oh my goodness. This is the most I've spoken. Trauma dumping. This is the most I've spoken. It's all trauma dumping, and like in the 15% and 3 times already. I was like, oh boy, I don't have the patience for this. And the amount of patience I had to keep to get through this book. Another plus point of the book is gay werewolves, yay, but I've read enough of those on the website. Did I mention that the age gap is 6 years? I mean, Knox was 23 and he was checking out Joe and his pecs and muscles on when Joe was 17. That happened. And I guess the author mentions that a few times. Like, Ox's mother reacts to it, and yeah, whatever. Like, a few, Jesse, like, they broke up, but, you know, things happen. And Jesse also kind of reacts to it, like, why? It's weird. I'm sorry, I'm just out of words right now. This is the most I've spoken. I shouldn't have related to that. I was just complaining about it, but now it's just me because I'm kind of out of words and I don't really want to speak. I just kind of want to... What was that? Oh, it was just a text. And I just kind of want to shut down right now and listen to someone else speak. And this... Okay, I think I mentioned, and I don't really want to talk about this right now. But I think I mentioned on my book 2 new tag that the hardest of the challenges that I would have to face is kind of like talking to the wall or something. And you know what? I'm kind of feeling that because it's so hard to keep the conversation going on with yourself when you're such a bland person. Okay, yeah, I kind of liked the ending, but whatever. What I liked about the ending was that the book ended. So, I just want to talk about some things that I didn't necessarily like, but I'm not gonna blame the author on this one, or... Yeah, it's just me ranting at this point. It is a rant review after all. I'm out of energy and it shows. It's your turn to speak, bitches. Comment. or else I have 3 points to get across and I'll be done. And I'll just wrap things up and get back to reading, because I won't be reviewing the 3 volumes of manga that I've read so far. The things I did like but I don't really care for was that the writing was repetitive, as I've told already. I wasn't expecting smut scenes of that Joe and Ox, because a few hours ago these two were kids to me, even though Joe was 16, but whatever. Like, Joe is 1 year. Sorry, Ox is 1 year. I'm 17, right? So Ox was 16-year-old and 1 year younger than me. But I still viewed him as a kid because he acted like it. He had the emotional maturity of a peanut. There was this smut scene I wasn't in the mood for. I still viewed them like a few minutes ago, like a few pages, or no, not pages, okay, like a few hours ago, like 2 hours maybe. I was like viewing them as kids right after, like, as a fucking 10-year-old, and then not a good time. Another reason I think I just view us as a child is because in my head I refuse to ship a 16-year-old. I don't really ship them, but okay. I refuse to see them as potential couple. I just kind of lowered the age cap. I was like viewing Ox through age of the truth as a 12-year-old or something. Another thing that I really disliked was there's kind of this standard world building of the ABO Omegaverse, which I am guilty of consuming for pleasure. Guilty pleasure. Not me exposing myself, but anyways, it just kind of strayed from that standard, and yes, the author has their narrative freedom and creative freedom and whatever, but I wouldn't have complained if it was better than the standard. Don't fix what's not broken. Also very patient with that right now, because this book was published on 2016 at the height of Tumblr, and so I'm assuming that the ABO Omegaverse wasn't as well established as it is right now. That's about it. I'm done. You know, see, when I mentioned that, like, I didn't hate it, but I still hated the book. It's still a 1 star from me. It's like a 1.5 actually, but yeah. It's not the kind of hate that would, just give you the energy to rant on and on for hours. It's like the kind of hate that kind of sucks your energy off. I'm just glad I moved on from this, and I'm not gonna read on with the series. And another reason it was such a huge letdown was because I kind of liked The Captive Prince and the the Captive Prince trilogy by C.S. Paycat or something. So the Goodreads mentioned that this book was similar to that, and I've read for the book club, The House and the Cerulean Sea is the author's newer book. Not the newest, but it's like the more recent, I guess. That was a 3 star from me because of reasons, but I just kind of liked it more, and I have seen that the author has grown as a writer and a person from whatever the Wolfsong was. So I might be checking out their newer works, but I'm not gonna go into the backlist. That's about it for me. That's it for the video, that's it for the review, and I don't have any energy right now. Tell me your thoughts, or you can even cancel me in the comments, or just share this video, I guess. Dislike if you have a 5-star opinion, and hate me now or whatever. Okay, so my current read, I'm just gonna finish this video with my current read, so you might expect what reviews are coming the near future. I'm reading From Luca with Love, and I was really hyped up by my friends. I'm sorry, Aya, but it might be a 3-star. That's about it for now. Yes, I'm talking like the narrator, but that's about it for now. Wait, did the narrator talk like that because he was also done with the book? Oh lord, okay. See ya. I don't have the energy. And but I'd still love to interact virtually. This is virtual, like, you know, like 2D pixel, which I already am. I'd love to interact with you in the comments. It doesn't suck as much if it was a two-way conversation. Yeah. See ya.